we have the Mr. Beast scandal. Now, I have to admit, I have never watched a Beast video. I follow him on X. He is a fellow North Carolinian. That's kind of all I know about Mr. Beast. I saw initially he had a co-host that was in the news. I think this was last year for leaving his family and transitioning into a trans woman. So the allegations are that Ava Chris Tyson, who recently transitioned and came out as a transgender woman, is accused of sending inappropriate messages to a minor. The accusations emerged from Prism 42's YouTube video and social media posts that alleged Tyson engaged in sexually explicit conversations with a minor known as Lava GS. These interactions reportedly began when the minor was 13 years old and continued for several years. 13. Content of the messages. The leaked messages include suggestive and explicit content, such as a reference to selling nude photos and using innuendo-laced emojis. Screenshots show Tyson responding with kiss emojis and making comments that were deemed inappropriate for a conversation with a minor. The public's response has been mixed. While some fans and supporters of Tyson have defended her, arguing that the allegations are attempts to vilify the transgender community, others call for accountability and thorough investigation. Tyson has faced backlash not only from the general public but also from the LGBT community. This is interesting because I've spoken publicly, and there is an adjacent relationship when it comes to anything that's still kind of taboo. And there is this really deep resistance to criticizing your own because you feel like it's already being scrutinized enough by the public that you don't want to add any negative weight to that conversation. So you kind of turn a blind eye. And to me, that is weak. And it's unacceptable. And if you want anyone to treat your community with respect and dignity and grace, then you have to be honest. And if you continue to perpetuate bad actors or ignore bad behavior, then no one is going to take you seriously. And I see the same thing about the porn industry. Anytime something bad happens in that industry, you hear crickets for the most part. And then anyone that speaks up gets ostracized. So the reason that no one respects you is because you don't respect yourself. If you see something wrong, say something. Say, I don't stand with this person. I don't agree with them. This is bad behavior. They should be held accountable. And when you're honest, people are going to have no choice but to respect you for that honesty. So I think the reason that you get so much disrespect and people treat you like a joke is because you're not acting with responsibility. Show up a little bit, So I clap for all those people in the community that are saying this is unacceptable. It's absolutely unacceptable. 13, still a child. 13 is a child. Your frontal lobe is not even close to done. Not even close to done until you're 25, and now they're saying 30. So 13, you are still a baby. And this person had a whole family, a wife and children, and left that to go do DMs with a 13-year-old, allegedly. Not someone that you want to back. And to link that to the LGBT community makes no sense. That has nothing to do with being a pedophile. Like, you're a pedophile, you're a monster. That has nothing to do with being gay, nothing to do with being trans. It is not sexual identity. You are a literal demon. So everyone in the community should say absolutely not. Not for us, doesn't represent us. This person's a monster. Behind bars. Denial and defense. The alleged victim, Lava GS, has publicly denied being exploited and taken advantage of by Tyson. In their statement, they accuse those spreading the allegations of twisting the truth and creating a false narrative. Lava has now come out and condemned Ava for the conversations being had on the Discord server. So it sounds like initially Lava was saying nothing was inappropriate and now is changing. Is it their mind? I don't know. Is Lava non-binary? I really don't know. It looks like it's a man, but that doesn't mean anything. So let's see what Lava's tweet says, and it has almost 400,000 views so far. Based on the recent screenshots and messages, I would like to say a statement about the Discord. This was 5 or 6 years ago, and I thought I had a good memory of the situation, but I was wrong. After reading the chat logs, the stuff was inappropriate and wrong. I spoke based on my memory of the situation, and I still do not remember these conversations, but they definitely happened. These conversations should not have should not have happened with people at that age I was at the time. I strongly condemn them. I still believe I'm not a grooming victim, but these conversations should not have happened with me and any other minor in Discord. I was a minor in the situation and not the adult influencer who should shouldn't have allowed this to happen. I did not see the wrong at the time. So, and then we have a clarification piece. This is not only related to the Discord server and not any statements I have made regarding Ava Tyson when referring to the situation. I'm solely talking about the Discord server, and I stand by this. I commend MrBeast for, I commend MrBeast for taking the situation seriously and hiring a third-party investigator while also taking the appropriate actions of cutting ties with Ava. So it looks like MrBeast has fired this Ava person, which you have to, of course. And that needs to be investigated and taken very seriously. It's interesting too because there's this weird thing that can happen when you're looking back at possible inappropriate inappropriate encounters or relationships, and you have the adult mind going back and you're like, oh, I was so mature though, and I pursued it, and I was really old for 17, or I was really old for 13, and I was also like, it's this weird way to kind of protect yourself from really feeling how bad something was at the time. Again, it's just not okay. Even if you're the most mature 13-year-old on the planet, you have no business talking to an adult in these charged ways, these sexually charged ways. It's totally inappropriate. The power dynamic is off. There's age of consent for a reason. You cannot make really big choices like sleeping with an adult until you are an adult. It's just not okay. So to say like I wasn't groomed, like yes, you absolutely were. Whenever you're ready to come to terms with that, I'm sure you can find like a great therapist, find a good psychedelic facilitator, but you absolutely were groomed. You were a child. You have an adult having a strategic sexual conversation with you, and you are a minor. That is being groomed. They don't want to be your friend. He's a whole ass adult and had a whole ass family and children. That conversation is inappropriate, and that is grooming. Just grooming. Following the allegations, Tyson departed the MrBeast crew and all things MrBeast. She also deleted all her past tweets from her account. MrBeast also said he was parting with Ava and strongly condemned her actions. Over the past few days, I've become aware of the serious allegations of Ava Tyson's behavior online, and I'm disgusted and opposed to such unacceptable acts. During that time, I've been focused on hiring an independent third party to conduct thorough investigations to ensure I have all the facts. That said, I've seen enough online and take immediate action to remove Ava from the company, my channel, and any associations with MrBeast. I do not condone or support any of the inappropriate actions. I will allow independent investigators the necessary time to conduct a comprehensive investigation and will take any further actions based on their findings. And yeah, this is exactly the right thing to do. The better thing to do would have been to taken everyone seriously when something looked afoot when this person transitioned really late into life. So typically, most professionals will say if someone actually has gender dysphoria, those signs start showing up very early and they are persistent and consistent. So when it happens really late in life, it usually tends to be something else. And when that happens, I think that if you have a channel that is geared towards children, it's your responsibility to take that seriously and not just to have this blind empathy and total social acceptance for absolutely everything because you don't want to be criticized and seen as someone who's any kind of like bigot or ist or whatever. It's like there's something a little fishy about this. Like, shocking. This person transitioned late in life, left their entire family. They turned out to be a predator too? Yeah. Shocked. I'm shooketh. And then lastly, we have Ava Tyson's tweet themselves with 53 million views. I would like to apologize for any of my past behavior or comments. If I hurt or offended anyone, it was not my intent. Seeing recent events, we've mutually decided it's best I permanently step away from all things MrBeast and social media to focus on my family and my mental health. Oh, now you want to focus on your family and your mental health? Well, guess what? Those things are not doing so well right now. I mean, if this is true and then evidence stacks up, I want to see this person behind bars. I want to see this person behind male bars because you are a predator, and the last thing you need to do is go into a women's jail and then hurt somebody else because your mind is broken